Hello, everybody. I'm Janpha Thadphoothon, and today I will be presenting a paper titled A Reverse Genealogical Analysis of the Present-Day Foreign Language Education. And this is the outline, the aim, definition, method, findings, discussion, summary, and conclusion. The aim of this analysis is to construct a picture of the present-day foreign language education represented by ELT. Why do we need to do that? Because that would be really useful and enable us, and that will enable us to better understand our present. The present of ELT. Disclaimers: I'm not a futurist. Neither is I an AI expert. So what I'm about to share with you is something most of you already know. About me, I'm a lecturer at the Faculty of Arts, Thurikit Bandit University in Bangkok, Thailand. I've been teaching English for about 2 decades. This is the schematic representation of what I mean by reverse genealogy. So as you can see, this is the present. For us to better understand the present, we can look at our predictions of the future, like future 1, 2, 3, so that we can better understand the present. And language is something our focus is on. And according to Noam Chomsky, everybody knows who he is. And he said that language is the core of everything. And in this particular gathering and conference, we would like to investigate the role of languages in the context of global sustainability and peace. Okay, what about the history? Harari, you all know Harari. I think everybody might have heard his name. He said that we look into the history, not to know the future, but to broaden our perspective, to better understand our present situation. And according to Harari, the situation is constructed. It is constructed. It's not natural and inevitable. So we can do something about it. That's what he said. So the present hint is largely open and we can do something about it. So we would like to know about the future. That's why we have the term future studies and trend analysis, scenario, and so on and so forth. The future, according to Bill Gates, the future is what matters, which is why I don't look back very often. And Ray Kurzweil, we will see 1,000 times more technological progress in the 20th century than what we saw in 20. People want to know the future and want to predict what the future will be. However, the future, the past, and the present may be just our illusion, according to Einstein. Now, moving on to the definitions. As I said, reverse genealogical analysis is the way of understanding the present by looking at the future, our predictions. Of course, the very idea of reversing the genealogy is the idea proposed by Maria Brennan. In 2002, Maria Brennan, I was lucky to know her, actually. And there are many terms when we talk about future predictions. The term I'm using here is very inclusive, entailing the word trends, scenarios, prediction, forecast, okay, and maybe including imagination. Prophecy and fantasies, the thing to bear in mind is that no one really knows the future, and the future can be very, unpredictable. Another term I would like to give you the definition is the term artificial intelligence. According to Kai-Fu Lee, AI is smart software and hardware capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. And for me, I think AI is a system that exhibits human-like characteristics and has two qualities. And the other quality is the ability to learn from the experience. Mostly unsupervised. One of the predictions is that AI will trigger the deepest and most disruptive change in the 21st century. That's the prediction from the head of the OECD Center for Educational Research and Innovation, Dirk van Dam. And as we know, language is very important because it's a system of science governing by two laws, the paradigmatic law based on the law of substitution and the syntagmatic law based on commutation. So what are those predictions? What are those predictions? This is the first question I would like to know. And what do they mean and tell us about our present? So the method I'm using is what we call reverse genealogy. So I will look at the trends, predictions, scenarios that people make about the future, and the predictions are classified or are from three domains: the general prediction, predictions about education in general, and prediction regarding language education represented by ELT. So this is the future study in general, in education, and in language. So data sources come from the general, represented by this author, Nick Bostrom, Yuval Noah Harari, John Lennox, Matt Tekmark, Kai-Fu Lee, for example. And in education, we look at the predictions trend from the following. The Center for Universal Education at Brookings, the OECD, United Nations Foundation, UNESCO, CSIRO, this is from Australia, and World Economic Forum. And predictions from ELT, we have David Crystal, we have the British Council, Xie Shu Song and Sun Yilin, and we have Hockley and Dudney, and also Ali Abdul Samir Kuala. Okay, so let's move on to the findings. I'm going to be presenting the trends prediction in the three domains: the general domain, education domain, and language domain. Okay. Okay, now the trends and predictions in three domains: general, education, and language. Generally, we can see from the analysis that AI is coming pretty strong. It's like new electricity. And for us, we need to do many things like reskilling, upskilling, and develop our digital skills on top of other things. And there will be more teleworking, and there will be more automation and autonomous system. And probably there will be job loss, and some people will be severely affected. And we can see the new development of the internet, like the metaverse. Still, we have environmental degradation, climate change, and the new geopolitical landscape, right? So this is what happened in general. And according to TechMark, we have to be careful about the many risks, and one of them is the existential risk that we as a human being, either because of nuclear wars or some unforeseen situation or events. So, but the rise of machine can mean positive and negative things for us. Doesn't have to be a bad thing according to TechMark. And yeah, and one of the prediction is that we are moving towards becoming a technological being, and this is a proposal by Max Tegmark. We are moving to stage 3, Life 3.0. And this is another quote from Sundar Pichai I would like to share with you. He said that we will be using more, AR and VR technology. You can actually interact with a non-human agent. He said it last year, I think, last year. And Yuval Noah Harari, he said that the future will be science fiction-like, So in the year 2050, it will be like science fiction. That's what he said. Elon Musk, he tried to set a community on Mars, and also enhancing human cognitive ability by implanting, some chips into human brain to enhance ability, so that we can also compete with AI as well. Yeah, and this is not something too far to realize. One of the scholars like Carl Schwab, he's actually said about the potential, the possibility of implanting a device into our brain to enhance our cognitive ability. And Mark Zuckerberg is going to create an immersive technology to help us communicate better. And there will be a group or many groups of people who will be severely affected by the AI revolution. Kai Fu Lee, he said that there will be both challenges and opportunities. We need to get ready for that. Now, that's the setup. That's the overall picture. Now, in education, we have heard about the P21 group by the Partnership for the 21st Centuries. These are the skills and competency necessary for working and living in the 21st century. I think we have been informed about it for almost 20 years. You have to have creativity, critical thinking, have a responsibility, working together, and have the ICT skills and life skills as well. Artificial intelligence prediction, I think I mentioned this already from the very beginning, that it will affect us, all of us. And this is the CSIRO scenarios from Australia. They said that there will be 7 mega trends, like climate change. We need to go green. We need to, use cleaner technology. We need to pay attention to health and the geopolitical shift and the coming of digital and automation, and also the other human dimension progress. And the UNESCO report, they would like to set up a new social contract, okay? Because we cannot continue doing what we have been doing. Education has to be transformed. And if we continue on the same path, we will fail. There will be many risks, including the risks accompanying technological and digital transformation. Okay. And the World Economic Forum has come up with the, I think, Andrea Geischer, the director of the OECD, Directorate of Education and Skills, OECD. He published the 4 scenarios, what will education look like in 20 years from now, 2 decades from now. The 4 scenarios are the scenario under the fact that the schooling extended. Okay, there will be, people will get more participation from the out of school communities, and there will be other sources of information like the internet. We cannot just focus on the school anymore. Okay, and another scenario is the school will be a learning hub. He very positive generally about the school, and also you can learn on the go, learning as you go. Learning can be anytime, anywhere. Ubiquitous is everywhere. Okay. And Kai Fu Lee said that AI could maybe fix the flaws in education. School will be infused with AI. There will be more individualized learning, and we will have AI tutor and human teacher working together. And AI, he very positive, will make learning more effective, engaging, and fun. And teacher, we have 2 roles. Number 1 is to be the mentor and connectors between the student and the curriculum. And the teacher, another role would be the role of working with AI to set up the system for better learning. Now let's move on to language education. This is the 3rd domain. We will see deeper use of technology and more immersive. AI-infused instruction, individualized instruction, and autonomy. English still the dominant language of the 21st century. The roles and the method will be different. Actually, the 21st century, English will still be a very important language, according to David Crystal. He said about it many years ago in 1997. Warsaw 2000 had made a prediction. The future speaker of English, according to Warsaw, will use English together with technology to express their identity and make their voice heard. Elizabeth Hanson Smith, in one of the books, I think, Computer Assisted Language Learning, in the Cambridge Guide to Teaching and English to Speakers of Other Languages, edited by Ronald Carter and David Noonan. I think everybody heard about this book. And yeah, in that particular book, many years ago, like 20 years ago, there was a discussion on the use of technology. I mean, the shift has been from the use of technology in the late 1980s and early 1990s to at the turn of the century. The book said that the focus should be on how the technology affects learning and the new roles of teacher. So we realized that technology would affect learning and we have to adopt new rules, like 20 years ago, at least. And as far as English language learning or language is concerned, Microsoft founder Bill Gates has this to say. He said that speech recognition will be very powerful, actually slightly better than what we call human recognition, human speech recognition. So computer speech recognition is very powerful. Closer to home, we have Professor Atcher, Professor of Linguistics at Queen Mary University in London. In one of the YouTube videos, he said that the AI could be very good, but we'll do it differently. And also Professor Rose Larkin from London, she said that we should embrace AI. We should want AI to help us, but we should be careful. We should be wise and we should be judicious. So what do they tell us about the presence of ELT? Well, we know that technology is driving education at the moment, and education and technologies are going at the same direction. Technology-driven education, I think we have to consider this, and the need for digital skills, working with the machines, and the issue of identities, and the roles of teachers. So what does the data say? The data say that we have both challenges and opportunities. There will be deeper and more use of technologies, a lot of information, We have a lot of data and misinformation as well. We are moving towards automation and autonomy. Autonomy in, like learner autonomy. Changing roles, very important for human characteristic and traits, difficult for the machine to mimic. So, so this is what we have learned. And we look at the size and the symbols of the present, we will see that we have worries and anxiety. English is our runaway thing. Are we losing control of the language? We have seen a lot of applications like self-learning, translation, chatbot translate, speech recognition, voice recognition, and other, including grammar, grammar. We are moving toward the new normal. We have to do things differently. Online elements, more. We have education everywhere, ubiquitous, and we have seen in more individualized learning. We have seen more conference, more talks, and documents coming out mostly online and digital with less paper. So big questions are, it is up to us? I don't think so, no. Yeah, we need to do something about it, but we have to do what and how. And there are more questions coming. Thank you. This brings up to the summary and conclusion. Like others, ELT has been affected by technological change. The future projected by the present reflects our worries, anxiety, and the mixed feelings of both challenges and opportunities. I would like to end my talk with a quotation from Henry David Thoreau in London. He said that if we live in the 19th century, why should we not enjoy the advantages which the 19th century offers? We should not live in, be very provincial. We should be cosmopolitan. Thank you very much.